Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you're watching this. I hope you're all safe and well. My name's Ollie Judd, and today I'm going to be taking you through my TLD final assessment. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, of course, you can drop me an email or you can drop me a message on LinkedIn, actually, and I'll be happy to answer them. So just quickly now, what I'm going to kind of be taking you over for the next 20 minutes or so. Part one is going to be looking at my personal development, my CPD, and how I got there. And then the second half is going to be looking at the interview questions and how I answer those. So what I've kind of achieved in my university career or life has been, I graduated from my undergrad degree in 2018. I was then that year on the back of that been elected as Vice President of Sport for the Students' Union, where I was actually known as the shortest VP Sport, which I took in good spirits, and I had a really good year and loved working with them regardless. I also was elected as various committee positions for futsal. So in my second year, I was marketing communications. In third year, I was president, and this year I was secretary. I've also achieved my Accelerate Gold Award this year for my extracurricular activity and reflection, which I'm going to be talking about just in a second. And yeah, probably my proudest achievement today was the student profile. So if you go on the NTU website, you'll see me. Which was a proud moment on project management. Cool. So before I started my PDP plan, I kind of looked at myself and reflected and used some different tools and techniques. And when I was watching a TED talk about reflection, he actually mentioned that we self-reflect every single day, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. It could be absolutely anything. And, it is true. For example, I reflected on recent projects that I've done for my university course, or I even reflected on my breakfast this morning. And as ridiculous as it sounds, it is essential in our professional development, because if we want to achieve our career aspirations or our real lifetime goals, then it is important to recognize, reflect on what we've done previously and see what we can do for next time to improve on that. And there's different ways you can do that. You can do it by literally self-reflecting at yourself and thinking, I think I should do this better, or what I can change for next time. Of course, there's different personality matrix you can use. I used a Red Bull Wing Finder one, which I found quite useful, just to kind of get more of a holistic view of how you learn and what motivates you. And then you can also get advice from peers, colleagues or tutors. So, for example, in the top right-hand corner, I had a 360 review, which is in the Pebble pad, which you can look at, of anonymous feedback from colleagues at my time at the Students' Union. Which kind of really helps structure my PDP plan for the year. So I used these different tools and techniques, and this is kind of what the outcome was. The first one, to expand my employability platform. I think that's probably my priority one, as I'm now leaving university. I need to kind of collate all the good things that I've done and put them into essentially a piece of paper for an interview. So different tools and techniques that I can do to help me do that would definitely be useful. Adequate communication, particularly now I think it's just as important as ever that we can communicate across different platforms. So now digitally, virtually, and obviously it's just important to be physical as well. But making sure that I can communicate across platforms, across cultures and demographics is definitely something we can look at. Plan and review. This is looking for at my 360 review. Apparently I kind of just jump into projects and not think of the risks associated with it. So that'll be something I'll be doing with my mate with all my university coursework this year. Time management and productivity. I think that's quite an important one. I think I'm quite good at my time management, but when I've got time off, I don't manage my time accordingly and not productive with my free time. So hopefully this will give me a nudge, and hopefully the CPD activity will make me more productive with my time as well, having a target to go for. These are more targets just to keep me motivated: Bucks Championships, MSc Project Management graduate, and secure graduate job. So yeah, what I'm really going to be talking about today is probably the development areas and how the CPD activity help with these. So yeah, I'm going to split the CPD activity up into two parts. I can't remember how many hours I got. I think I got over 30, but I didn't really look at it like that. I looked at it as not even a target, just to kind of keep doing as many as I can and just kind of benefit the development myself. So I was a sport champion and a student ambassador for the uni. I'm going to talk about more about the sport champion role. Essentially, I was help run the recreational sport program at the university. Essentially, I needed to make sure that it was an inclusive environment for all members to be involved in. I needed to make sure people were signing in. I needed to make sure that people were, the behaviour was appropriate, and I also needed to overall health and well-being of the students that were taking part in these sessions as well. Really enjoyed the role. I've loved sport all my life, so it was kind of something that really worked well for me. Another thing I learned was probably problem solving. So, for example, the photo there, which I'm pointing over, that was a tennis session I ran without even knowing that I was supposed to be running it till I got there. So thinking on your feet and being able to come up with alternative solutions in different environments is definitely something that you can use in the future. So yeah, that was definitely something that took me by surprise, but went well in the end. Overall, sorry. The next one, I was a promotional manager for a nightclub. So this was about 6 months till, unfortunately, we lost the funding. But essentially, I ran all the promotional activity for the nightclub. So looking at promotional staff, paying the staff, structuring the rota, making sure we have flyers, artwork printed on the box office on the night. And although it did fail, essentially, I did also learn a lot from the role, probably more than what I did from any other role. There was a lot of responsibility with that role. And I was dealing with a lot of different people, and they all wanted money at the end of the day because they're all working for me. So that was kind of having to deal with that pressure was something that I learned from, and I also really enjoyed it as well. I definitely don't regret it, put it that way. I'm still good friends with the Fletchgate team. My extracurricular activity, I went to some additional lectures. So there's a CV writing one where my CV is actually structured pretty similar to that. I like the bullet point format. I also went to a LinkedIn session where I looked at LinkedIn jobs and also the overall structure of my profile. And I've actually started using LinkedIn jobs as well. And obviously you got the LinkedIn learning as well. You got voluntary sessions, voluntary roles, such as secretary for NT Futsal. A lot of admin work involved with that, but it was good to be part of the committee again after I took a year out as VP sport. And yeah, a lot of admin work went along with that role. Also, you got your one-on-one meetings. So I had a meeting with Graham from Employability. He had a look at my CV and just made some minor changes, and my LinkedIn as well. And also you got your online learning, which I did. So the building your team one, I'm going to look at in a little bit more detail in a second. And there's also got your strategic thinking ones and the Accelerate Awards as well. So overall, what's kind of been the impact? Definitely a growth in confidence, putting myself in different scenarios and environments, even when I didn't even know about, particularly when I was going to work and not knowing what I was going to be doing. It's also given me a confidence in leading large teams because I've also done it now. So it helped me also achieve my targets. The time management productivity one, I think I was definitely a lot better this year, just because I was so busy balancing 3 jobs in the end and a master's. It definitely made me more productive with my time, and the impact was that I developed new skills and had further knowledge, and it's definitely helped with me overall academically as well, having this CPD activity. It's also saw a growth in networks across Nottingham community and the university, so hopefully I'd like to keep those relationships. And yeah, my employability platform, but of course, if you think there's anything I can change in my CV on my Pebble Pad, do let me know, and I'm always happy for anyone to have a little look at them. So that leaves with what next for me. I'm going to continue to use a PDP plan and the implications of it, because it has definitely helped my performance on academically and off it academically, particularly with my time management and saying no to different activities. I like to continue to keep active as always. I think it's definitely helped with structuring my time and also my health and my well-being, which I think is just as important. Healthy body, healthy mind, that sort of thing. Maintain relationships and networks from Nottingham Trent University. So yeah, if you want to hit me on LinkedIn, please drop me a connection. And lastly, to gain further education and courses. So I definitely want to do more of a more in-depth financial course to help me learn about project finances, because it's definitely something that's essential in project management and across all business, isn't it really? So yeah, thank you. That's the first part done. I hope you enjoyed it, and then I'm going to move quickly on to the second part. So, what are my opinions regarding the 2030 New Year goals? Um, Essentially, there's 169 targets with 17 development goals, and my opinion is it's definitely a movement in the right direction. Poverty's now declining. I don't know if it will after obviously COVID-19, but it was declining before that, as all leaders have now pledged a common action across universal policy agenda, and hopefully it will transform our world, which is one of our missions. Uh, Understanding the awareness of sustainability and responsible management is definitely crucial into how we perform in team environments or in the business world. And the agenda looks at economic and social environment development areas. So you definitely need different areas to look at. The AAA agenda is a very essential part of doing that, which looks at promoting trade, debt sustainability across those three different areas, and has definitely helped with positive movements across that. So what I kind of think about it is, it's a brilliant process, and making sure that we're aware of the development goals ourselves and how we can kind of make a positive impact. Because at the end of the day, if a universal approach is happening, we need to be doing our bit to help as well. And that kind of looks at my second part of the question, reflects on my knowledge and experiences. How do I feel like I can make a difference in my chosen profession? So now I understand the importance of it. So what I kind of want to go into the future is project management, community development, or event management. And it's not uncommon in business strategy. So making sure we're aware of it, like I mentioned, is crucial. And the way I'll just align my strategy up with it is to adapt a team mission and vision early in alliance with some of the goals that we want to achieve. Make positive change, being more sustainable. It can be even the smallest of things, but as long as we're making a difference and positive change, that's what matters. And it also, hopefully, in the end, make us some money as well in the future. The next question is, how would you go about building a team? So looking at the LinkedIn session that I did, also from my previous experience as well. I developed from previous mistakes. We've all made mistakes on encounters that we've had with people and our communication things. So ensure that we reflect on those and make change for next time. I'll probably take this core approach of communication, approachability, and transparency in the work I do. I'll adapt to team vision early along with that, just because it provides us with a pathway of what we want to achieve, and gives the project team more awareness of what needs to be done. I'll also go through the 4 stages of team development. So I think that was Bruce Tuckman, which looks at forming, storming, norming, and performing, and understanding the different stages and understanding if there is a bit of conflict in there, where it should be and how it needs to be managed. And also I'd have cross-functional teams. I'd have different personalities, ages, cultures, demographics, and experiences. So of course I think it'd be boring with a load of me's at a team. So having a more holistic view and hopefully will provide innovation, increased performance, humour, I'd like to think as well. And hopefully better performance overall from the team. So that's probably why I'd have more cross-functional teams. And then lastly, discovering relationships early and recognising the importance of conflict management. So if you know people that do work together, I'd always recommend pairing them up together, just because it obviously helps you, because you're the one leading the team at the end of the day, you're the one responsible. So making sure you pair people up to do work is definitely important, that you pick the right people. And conflict management, which I'm going to be talking about in just a second. Can you describe a time when a team member has disagreed with you and you've resolved the situation? So yes, the answer is that. But conflict, of course, has its strengths and weaknesses. I think sometimes if you have conflict, particularly in sporting environments, it definitely shows passion and drive, and that they care. And I think you can show the same in professional practice as well. That if people are coming and stressing about it, it shows they care. So it means that they're doing the right thing. And there's nothing bad with having conflict within the team. So, for example, I'm going to use this from NTU futsal. We had it this year where we had a lad that was in the second team that thought he was good enough to be in the first team, and he came, and there was a bit of conflict about what was going to happen. And I've called it. Well, I'm going to call it Judd's 4D approach about how we resolved it, because this is essentially what we did. We discussed the situation, about, and got it all out off his chest. We determined the root cause. We then discovered our options, and then we delivered on that. So what the options were was, you can either continue playing for the twos, and then you can be twos captain, or you can play for the one. You can be part of the ones, but you won't really play for the ones. And then he ended up playing for the twos, and the conflict was resolved. So yeah, happy days. And I think this is the last question, and it's, what key things have you learned from working as part of a culturally diverse team that you perhaps did not know before? I didn't really know what to put for this one, but I've put management, and that means management of people. So, for example, sometimes you need to approach people differently, because at the end of the day, everyone's different, and their different cultures and experiences has ended up who they are today. So, particularly with international students, they can be a little bit more shy when it comes to big, intimidating environments, particularly when there's a lot of English people around. So, if you have got someone that's not performing or is a little bit shy, taking them away and managing them differently to increase their confidence will hopefully have a better approach than just calling them out in a meeting or things like that. So I've definitely learned that management of people can be slightly different between cultures, just because of the whole confidence thing. Because at the end of the day, if I was in their culture, if I was in their country, I'd probably be just as shy or as intimidated as I think they can be at times. And sometimes diverse teams take longer to develop routines and communication channels. I only say that because when I was promotion manager for trade, I employed an Italian girl and 2 French boys, and the whole of the communication channel was through Facebook, of booking the structuring the rota out and making sure they knew when people went to get paid and stuff. And they didn't have Facebook, and I thought everyone had Facebook. So changing or structuring your activity to help different needs, I think, was something that I did, and definitely something that I learned from the role as promotional manager. But yeah, I think that's it. I think the last thing I want to say to you guys is thank you to the NTU, the university, across all departments, sport department, even the SU, the business school. You've definitely all helped me in whatever way, professionally or academically, and I've made some great members of staff along the way. So thank you for that, and thank you for your time in doing so. And then lastly, I thought I'd leave a photo here of, this is me in first year, and although I don't think I've changed too much on the outside, I might have a bit of a beard now and my quarantine long hair, I haven't changed a lot on the outside, but in the insides, I've definitely matured, grown and developed, and I think now I'm ready for the professional world, and can't wait to get started. So yeah, thank you very much. And of course, if you do have any questions and any more information about my pedal pad or anything like that, you can let me know. But thank you.